Hi, my name is Sheila Satin, and I'm the co-owner here, along with my sister Lisa, at the Satin Crystals Boutique. And today, we're going to have an overview on mesmerizing malachite stone, its meanings, and I'll answer your top 5 questions on malachite. At the end, I'll also clue you in if you are somebody who could benefit from malachite's properties. So let's get started and stay tuned. What is malachite? Malachite is this beautiful green banded stone, which is an altered form of copper. Malachite is a secondary mineral of copper, meaning that it forms when copper gets weathered or oxidizes. And when malachite does form, it has these beautiful light and dark green bands, which is distinct to this gemstone. And every single piece of malachite has a one-of-a-kind pattern, so it's very easy to recognize, even for beginners. The top 5 questions we're going to answer about malachite today are: how can you tell if your malachite is real? What are the crystal healing meanings of malachite? How do you use malachite for healing? What chakra is malachite associated with? And is malachite toxic to touch? How can you tell if your malachite is real? Well, as you can see, malachite is a very attractive stone, and it's pricier than your average semi-precious stone, so there are a lot of fakes coming into the market. These days, I'm seeing an increase in the imitation malachites, with quotation marks, that are sometimes either agates or jaspers or other stones that have been dyed to look like malachite, or sometimes they're not even stone, they're just resin that have been patterned and dyed green. Luckily for us, malachite, the real malachite, is pretty easy to spot if you're at all familiar with it. So you can tell a fake really easily just by looking at it. The first clue is malachite should always be green. So whether it is the light green or the darker green or even a blackish green, malachite is always green. I am seeing some red malachite on the market these days, and that is a surefire sign that it is a fake. Secondly, fake malachite has some uniform and unnatural bands and patterns to it. So you'll be able to tell from the real thing, which is made by Mother Nature, so it's not super perfect like a machine. And if you cannot tell visually, then you can place your piece in a weak solution of cold hydrochloric acid, and malachite, the real one, will start to bubble. Other pieces and other items may not. And lastly, you can use a copper penny and you can scratch the piece and see if it'll scratch, because malachite is a very soft stone, so it'll scratch with a copper penny or obviously anything harder than that. However, a note to keep in mind is that the polish on the malachite may keep it a little bit harder, may stabilize it more, so the penny might not work for that, but you'll want to try it on the more raw piece. And the pennies will not scratch anything that is harder than malachite, like the agates or your jaspers. What is the crystal healing meaning of malachite? Well, malachite in crystal healing is known as the power stone because it gets right to the point. It aggressively brings up your emotional issues for you to confront, deal with, and move on. It's the stone of great spiritual transformation. So it's great for all of you who are ready to move on from your past traumas into the future in a healthy manner. It has also been used since ancient times to counteract any evil energies. So if you have a malachite piece that has an eye shaped, like banded eye or a bullseye, like this egg here, you can use it to counteract the evil eye. A lesser known property of malachite is that it is a stone of good luck and abundance. So these days we associate jade with these properties, but since ancient times, malachite has been used for prosperous energies. So what I suggest is for you to check out our Malachite Lucky Clover article on Satin Crystals, and you can find out all about how to use malachite for good luck. How do you use malachite in healing? So if you want to use malachite in your healing practice, here are a few ways that I would suggest you can go about it. First of all, if you like to crystal ball gaze, I would recommend getting a large malachite sphere and holding it or just placing it on your table. You can gaze into the patterns. They're all very mesmerizing. It'll take you into that hypnotic state, connect you with your subconscious mind and universal energies. So that's one way. You could also, if you like to find some balance within your aura and your body, you can hold 2 malachite eggs, one in each hand, to transmit and receive malachite's energies and balance yourself that way. If you want to work on your chakras, I would recommend some cabochon, malachite cabochons. These will be placed right on the chakras, so they won't slip off like other stones because they are flat on the back. You can use other flat stones as well that are malachite, but cabochons work great. If you like to do manifestations and you like to write down your positive affirmations, I would suggest putting a little malachite figurine on your desk or your writing space. So like this malachite duck or the malachite hippo, perfect. They look great and they will provide that abundant energy you are looking for. And lastly, I would suggest malachite jewelry. So malachite jewelry will remind you throughout the day of your spiritual transformation goals, and of course they add a nice green color and a fresh energy to your look as well. So these are just a few ways that you can use malachite in your healing practice. However, we do have a lot more ideas on our Satin Crystals article, so make sure to head over to the Satin Crystals Malachite Meanings page and you'll find out a lot more about malachite. A little note for our empath friends, those of you who are very sensitive to energies, malachite, as I said, is a very aggressive, strong energy, so it might be overwhelming for you, especially bringing up all those emotional issues. So what I suggest is to use a gentler stone like rose quartz. So this will balance out the energies together. If, however, malachite is still too strong, just remove it from the picture and use a softer stone instead. What chakra is malachite for? Malachite is strongly associated with the heart chakra because of its green color. And as you might know, the heart chakra vibrates with the color green. So placing malachite on your heart chakra is great for drawing out those emotional issues that are related to past heartbreaks. However, some of you who have deep-seated issues, that emotional energy might be blocked in the heart and it might have moved down to your emotional center, which is the one right below your heart, your solar plexus chakra. So using malachite at the solar plexus chakra can help balance that area before you go back up to your heart to work exclusively on the heart chakra. So the heart chakra and the solar plexus chakra are greatly benefited by malachite. Malachite, toxic to touch? Well, you might have heard that malachite is a toxic stone. And this comes from the fact that malachite has a high copper content. And too much copper in our bodies is not a good thing, just like too much of anything. But in the forms that we are going to be using it, like jewelry or crystal healing stones or malachite decoration, you have nothing to worry about. This mainly applies to people who are doing lapidary work. So if you're cutting malachite all day long, or if you're grinding it into powder and the dust is getting to you and you're not having the proper protection, then over a prolonged period of time, you might have a problem with malachite. But for the rest of us, use in every day, we have nothing to worry about. Millions of people use it all over the world every single day and nothing has happened. So that being said, just make sure to use common sense. Don't go inhaling any malachite powders on purpose or placing raw malachite in your nose or using raw malachite to drink as a gem elixir. And then you'll be fine. So that is a brief overview on malachite. And by now you know a little bit more about the stone and if you can benefit from it. So are you somebody who can benefit from malachite? Let me just go over a few of the traits of malachite to see if they relate to you. So first of all, if you need a power stone in your corner, malachite definitely can help you through this. If your heart is full of emotional baggage, you can use malachite. If you are looking for a lucky manifestation stone, malachite is for you. If you have evil entities around you and you want to get rid of the evil eye, you can use a malachite that has an eye malachite or a bullseye malachite. If you just enjoy Mother Nature's original artwork that you see in malachite, you can use malachite to connect with nature, even if you can't get to the outdoors. If you're stuck in an office or a hospital bed, or maybe just even at your house and you can't get outside, you can just gaze into malachite instead. If you like the lush green colors of malachite and you need to enhance your wardrobe, you can wear malachite jewelry. It's perfect for you. And if you're somebody who just enjoys the fancy, high-end, deluxe, and rare gemstones and nice things in life, malachite is definitely for you. If you have any questions or even some stories to tell about malachite, I'm happy to hear them. Feel free to comment here or contact us directly at Satin Crystals. While you're at Satin Crystals, don't forget to join our VIP club and you'll be updated on the latest gem-worthy news. You can also subscribe here to our YouTube channel and you'll get the latest crystal healing videos. As always, thank you for watching and thank you for your positive energy at Satin Crystals.